Being on a whale watching tour and seeing a whale breach is one of the coolest things you can experience. But it's super important to remember that these are massive animals and they can inadvertently injure or kill you. But don't worry, if you come out with me, I got your back. I've actually only ever had a whale breach close to my boat once. Now, even though I see breaching whales usually a few times a week, the reason this doesn't happen to me more is for two reasons. One, I'm really good at my job. I'll get more into that in a second. And two, I typically work with captains that trust my judgment and respect the whale's space. Now, if you're on a whale watching boat in Canada, you have to be 200 meters or more away from orca and 100 meters or more away from humpbacks. But the whales don't know the rules, and sometimes they do end up getting closer to the boat than those regulated distances. If that happens, we simply shut our engines down until they're back at the appropriate distance. And as the naturalist on board, it's not just my job to talk to guests and take pictures of whales. It's also really important that I'm constantly watching the whales and assessing and reassessing the behaviors that they're exhibiting. And for the most part, this is pretty easy because I'm really good at pattern recognition and whales have patterns. If myself or the captain starts to see the whales getting rambunctious, a lot of the times we actually give them more than the regulated space. And this is why, despite seeing breaching a lot, you guys might notice that I reuse the same breaching videos and pictures over and over again. It's because I don't get a ton of footage of them when they're doing these activities because I'm further away and it becomes more difficult to get that footage. Now let's talk about the one time that I did have an orca breach too close to the boat. So we pulled up to some orca that were clearly already mid-hunt, so we gave them some extra space and shut our engines down completely. Sometimes the orca got even further away, sometimes they got closer. The three of them were hunting a harbor porpoise and the youngest member, Crinkle, was doing the majority of the work while Mom, Vulcar, and big brother, Inky, were just making sure that the porpoise could not get away. Now after a hunt when bellies are full, this is often a time where we see breaching, so yet again we're maintaining a nice distance from these whales. But Crinkle had other ideas. She actually came over to our boat and breached all the way around the boat and then went back to her family. And that's actually how I got this picture. But even though she was breaching really close to the boat, I wasn't scared at all. And that's because I know Crinkle. I know her very well. And she knows my boat. This was one of the few times that an orca acknowledged our presence, and it almost felt like she wanted us to celebrate with her. Now, if you take anything away from this video, I want it to be that the fact that 99.9% of all my videos and pictures are not taken with a cell phone. My camera's entirely designed to take pictures of things that are far away.